So Kerala, typically very traditional families you have over there. And you have the culture of you have these big family reunions, very close knit family. Like even when we used to go, all our cousins used to come to my grandparents' house. We used to spend our summer holidays in my grandparents' house. We used to have a lot of fun. And
family
get-togethers and stuff like that. Like my mother and my father were both from the same town, you can say, Kottayam, which is Changnasheri, which is a place in Kottayam district. So when we used to go for summer holidays, it used to be like 50% of the time in my mom's place and 50% of the time in my dad's place. So we used to divide our holidays. Right.
Like mom's side of the family.
Mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family.
Alright. Hi Sunita, how are you?
Hi Sunita, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you again.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just am curious about Kerala's culture. I've eaten Kerala's food, but I don't know much about the culture. What is the culture of this state, in general?
So I'm from Kerala, but I was born and raised in Bangalore. But we used to go for summer holidays to Kerala.
You told me that before.
Yes.
Yeah. The estates and everything.
Estates and stuff like that, yes. So Kerala, again, you have the Hindus, the Muslims, and the Christians. So Christians, there's a huge population of Christians, and I'm a Christian in Kerala. I think Hindus, there are about almost 60%, you can say, Hindus. Then probably 25% Muslims, and then the remaining Christians. So that's a huge percentage. Yes. There's a huge percentage of Christians in Kerala. So I mean, which I have not seen in other states as much, And Christianity has been in Kerala for centuries, several centuries. So it's not like something new. So it's been there for several centuries. It's a very old religion that has been in Kerala.
So is it different from the regular, what do you call Keralites? Is it the right word I'm saying?
Yeah, Keralites. We're called Keralites, and we speak Malayalam. That's the language that we speak. So Kerala, typically very traditional families you have over there. And you have the culture of, you have these big family reunions, very close-knit family. Like even when we used to go, all our cousins used to come to my grandparents' house. We used to spend our summer holidays in my grandparents' house. We used to have a lot of fun. And
family get-togethers
and stuff like that. Like my mother and my father were both from the same town, you can say, Kottayam, which is Changnasheri, which is a place in Kottayam district. So when we used to go for summer holidays, it used to be like 50% of the time in my mom's place and 50% of the time in my dad's place. So we used to divide our holidays. Right.
Like mom's side of the family.
Mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family. So we got to know all the cousins from both sides and we were very close,
That must have been really good, kind of growing up together.
Yes, and you grow, and when you go there, it's your grandparents' house, So you're growing up like you're going and visiting the place where your parents
grew up.
Yes. So it was a lot of fun. And typically, like, you have Christmas, we celebrate Christmas. Then there is the main festival, like in Kerala, what we used to go for is the Onam festival. Onam is a very it's like a harvest festival, you can call
and it's celebrated all over Kerala?
It's all over, everyone, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, everyone will celebrate it. It's almost like a harvest festival. You dress up in a particular way, you have this white, it's almost like an off-white sari, like a half sari with a gold border. And then you wear on a blouse which is similar to that.
Okay, like a matching with a
Like a matching,
border.
yes,
Okay.
with a border. It's
Okay.
typically golden cream. So it's
Okay.
very pretty. It's very, very
Okay.
nice. Everyone wears on that. Even the kids will wear on like little skirts and blouses.
Similar
yes.
style. Okay.
And then you kind of put little jasmine flowers on your head.
Oh
and-
yeah, I've
yes.
seen that.
And then
Yeah.
the men wear on like dhotis or like you can say lungis
Yes.
with colored shirts.
Okay.
like
So the
typically
men are the
silks.
colorful ones
Yes.
there.
So they add a little brightness to
Brightness to
the
yeah. And the women are like pure, kind of pure
Yes.
look, white.
It's a very nice thing. And then
Mhm.
the whole thing about Onam is like what I used to remember is like a huge spread of food.
Okay.
So they serve the food on banana leaves.
Okay.
And then you have rice and you have curries, and there are like several different curries, like almost like maybe 8, 10, 12 curries on the side, and then you have all these little like
side dishes.
yeah, side dishes and poppadoms and things like
Yeah,
that. So
pickles
I
and
remember
all.
it was a lot of food, but it was so tasty and it is so good. And there's a particular way they come and serve.
Okay.
You sit down over there and people come and serve you all these different courses. It's like
So
several
like
different
typical,
courses.
let's say in a typical get together, let's say Onam festival. So like let's say everybody decides, okay, we're having at someone's house this
Yes.
time, like Thanksgiving we do.
That's how we do
Is that
it.
what you guys?
Yeah. So
okay.
I have like a set of Malayali friends,
Mhm.
all Malayalis, and then I think most of us are all interrelated also.
Okay.
Somehow there's some relation.
Okay.
In Kerala, it's typical that you have like family names,
Mhm.
and because of the family name, you'll know who's married to whom.
Okay.
So it is very easy to identify
Okay.
the family lineage
All right.
by the family name.
So in a typical Onam festival back home, would like here we're very systematic, right? Okay, you make this, you make this.
Yes.
Is that the same thing that happened there?
no.
No. So I want
It's
to know.
all done in that one house.
Oh, it's the
and
one
yes.
house. Okay.
And since you have a lot of maids and things like that.
Helpers in
So,
the house.
helpers. There's a lot of helpers. And even all the ladies' kitchen. And it's a lot of fun. The kitchen is...
So like cooking together in
Cooking
one
together,
house.
yes,
It's
in
not
one
like
house.
they're
No,
bringing it from
please
home.
bringing anything. That is a culture that we follow over here in the US.
Yeah.
I have several, we have Onam in one person's house.
Yeah.
Like how we do it over here, like I've got a set of friends, all Malayali friends,
Yes. Yeah.
and all Keralites. And how we do it is Christmas will be at one person's house, Onam will be in one person's house, Thanksgiving is in one person's house, Easter, and
Yes.
then after that, July 4th. So we've got all these little different...
This like keep rotating.
Yes,
or
and
something.
it'll be in each one's house. So
Yeah.
typically, I host Christmas and my friend hosts Onam.
Okay.
And when we do it at their house, each of us will bring something.
Yeah, that's the typical way.
Yeah, we'll send out a list of the menu. The host will
Mhm.
send out the menu and say, all this needs to be brought. And each one will put their name against,
Yes,
what
yeah.
the items were. But
back
in Kerala,
home,
no,
it
it's
wasn't
not.
like that.
And how typically Onam is somewhere like August, September time, and it is
Okay.
during school time. But how we used to go to Kerala during that time was because my grandfather died in September.
Okay.
So he died the time when Onam, it's like somewhere in between Onam. So then
Okay.
we used to always go for my grandfather's death anniversary. Every
Okay.
year we used to go to Kerala.
Mhm.
So we go for summer holidays, go back to school, and then we go for the death anniversary.
Okay.
So when we go for the death anniversary, it's
Then you
Onam.
have the Onam.
So we
time.
celebrate that and then we come back.
Mhm.
So it was fun.
So Kerala is how many hours from Bangalore? Where you used to live?
A train ride to get to my place was like you leave at 9 o'clock in the night and you reach by afternoon 1 o'clock.
Okay, that's takes a long from Bangalore
From
to
Bangalore to Kerala.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot of time.
Yes, it's not
Yeah.
just overnight.
Okay,
Yeah.
so overnight and
Plus a few hours.
plus a few hours. So okay, and then same obviously, okay. So you used to maybe take a few days off from school
Yes.
and used to go there and all that.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Okay.
how we used to go is we used to drive.
Okay.
Yeah, typically that my dad used to take us. We used
Okay.
to drive and go.
Okay. So it was possible to drive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we used to drive.
Okay.
It was fun adventure because we would drive through the forest.
Okay, wow. That's another.
That was another
That's
adventure
another-
altogether.
Wow,
Yes.
that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to always take that route and go to Kerala. So it was a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
yes, and then my uncle used to for Onam, for the festival, they typically have these swings, these huge big swings which are
Okay.
tied onto trees, like a mango tree or
Mhm.
something like a strong tree.
Like a strong tree.
Yes,
Mhm.
and then we used to. So that is like a childhood memory of mine, And Onam typically they have this. The swing is
Okay.
also part.
It's like happiness and
Yes.
freedom and all
Yes.
that stuff. Do you have pictures of that? I would
Oh,
love to
yeah.
see those. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my trip to Kerala. And Kerala also, the time when we used to go, it was during the monsoons, you can say.
Oh,
So it's when it starts raining, and it was so fun because in Bangalore it doesn't rain. It's like very much like California weather, you can say.
Bangalore. That's
Yeah.
why there's a lot of Silicon Valley
Yes,
stuff
it is.
there.
So it is. It's very. It was very mild, but now it's changed a lot. But when I grew up over there, it was very. They used to call it the air-conditioned city of India, right?
Really?
Yeah, and
Okay.
the garden city of India. Now it's like a concrete jungle. And
Oh, big too much construction
yes,
and
lots of
everything.
and everyone's coming to Bangalore, so it's gotten so overcrowded, and it's no longer the same. Like
Same. Okay.
But
Yeah.
we used to be in Bangalore, and then Kerala was hot and humid. It's like Florida probably. It's very
wow.
hot and very humid, but very green and very beautiful.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the backwaters, and my father used to live like by the paddy fields,
Okay.
which was a lot of fun. My mother's place was like rubber estates. So it was two different fields for us.
So was it far away from each other?
Not too far. It was like an hour drive from both places.
Paddy means rice, right?
Rice,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So
The rice field was your dad's, and then
rubber
the rubber
estates was on my mom's side.
Okay,
So
all
we
right.
had that experience, and it was so you go over there and you see all the space and the rain, because Bangalore didn't have very heavy rains.
Must have been very green.
Oh, very green. It's beautiful. Kerala is beautiful. I think it is one of my favorite places actually in India.
Yeah.
It is, because I've gone to several different states, but I still like
The
Kerala.
beauty is
Yeah,
natural
beauty is
beauty
there.
and everything.
But the heat, you have to put up with the heat.
Light clothes or something.
Oh,
right?
yes. Only cotton clothes.
Cotton, light clothes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good advice, when I go.
Yes, take light cotton clothes.
Light
yes.
cotton. Okay.
So
it never gets windy, even though it's hilly. Yeah.
the best time you can say is maybe September or November. September to November, maybe a little better season to go.
Okay.
Yeah, go that time. It will be a little more milder, the climate will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get windy there, like because it's hilly.
I've never because we used to go from Bangalore to Kerala any time of the year. We used to feel hot.
Because you're used to that cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they tell us, oh, it's a nice time now, and when we go there, we're still so hot.
Because our body doesn't adjust.
Yeah, our
quickly.
body doesn't adjust so well. But it was a lot of fun.
So Onam was a main festival, and you said you also celebrated Christmas and Easter, and you used to do that back home also, those festivals.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
all right.
We used to do that.
Okay,
very
so
similar to
similar to what we do here, Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So and in Kerala, it was a lot more fun, I think, because in Kerala, I used to notice, unlike other states, I used to feel everyone is celebrating Christmas also over there.
Okay.
Like even the Hindus will be having like a Christmas tree, or and they'll have like they'll make a little crib, and they'll have competition. At least in those days, I don't know now whether they're doing those same things. But when we were there,
so
all my cousins will be so engrossed because they had a lot of space too. They'll make the crib. You know what the crib is, where Jesus is born, right? So it's like a manger. They'll make that, and they put little roads, and it's a huge
like a
space.
model of
yes.
everything. Okay.
And it is so nice, and there's a competition. So most of these houses will have these competitions. So you'll go from one house to the other to go and check all these, how they've done these things.
Oh,
so I had a lot of fun.
Like a lot of creativity was used to do all that, right?
So Christmas also we used to go to Kerala. I think we used to go back to Kerala very
all
often.
the time. So the main reason for moving to Bangalore was work.
My dad had a business in Bangalore.
Okay.
So that's the reason he moved out to Bangalore.
Okay. But
all his father, like all my dad's siblings, were still back in Kerala. So only my dad moved out.
Okay.
So more my mom's brothers and my mom's brothers were in India. I'm in Bangalore.
Oh, they were also in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
so that's why all our cousins were close in Bangalore, and we used to go to Kerala together.
Okay.
All
All
of us
right.
go back to
Okay. That
Kerala.
must have been really good.
Yeah.
And is it same for your husband's side too?
My husband's side is also very close knit,
Okay.
very close knit, because especially my husband's dad's side, they're like 9 siblings.
Okay.
So it's a big family, and all of them are very, very close.
Mm.
So I think that's one thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Very close family. You know?
Okay.
Most of the families are very close knit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And
See, like now I'm going back in November to India for a cousin's reunion, because now all the uncles and all that have passed away, right? They moved on. We've got only a few remaining. So we are, all the cousins from all over the world are going to be meeting at my grandmother's place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like kind of reliving the moments.
Yeah, it's like a reunion. We call it a
Yeah.
reunion, and all of us are going over there in November. And then, so we'll be at my grandmother's house probably for a day or two, and then after that we'll go to like some resort or something, because they have a lot of beautiful resorts over there.
Okay.
Yeah, to go eat some good food and go see the place.
And they probably have like big resorts.
Yes,
Really nice.
very, very beautiful resorts over there.
Okay.
Like last time when we went also, we went on a boat ride. So
Okay.
you need to do the boat ride to stay overnight in the boat or something.
Oh, is that the backwaters?
Backwaters.
Same
yes,
thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is like a fully equipped boat, right?
Yes,
It's like
it has. Yeah, they come and
Yes.
cook and they do everything for you.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about anything.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's a nice experience.
It's sounds very interesting and exciting. Yeah, I think.
So November I'm going.
Okay.
So that way I feel, or I don't know if it is everyone, but to a large extent I think very close knit families. We come
Yeah.
from. You know, everyone. Even
And do you
most of
see
my
that for
friends.
other friends, families
Yes.
also it's similar?
Yeah,
So it must be about the culture.
I think
then.
it is again the culture. Maybe,
Yeah.
that they're
Okay.
all very close. you
All
know.
close. Okay.
Like I know that a couple of my friends also do this.
Similar,
Yes.
okay.
They go back.
So you said Onam, you said Christmas, and all the other festivals. Other than that, what is it comes to your mind about Kerala's culture? Is it something
Very conservative, I think.
Okay?
A little conservative, at least when I was growing up, you know, because again, I came from the city. We were Bangalore bred, right? We were raised in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So we were very modern with our way of dressing up and things like that. We are in jeans and
Yes.
skirts and dresses and things like that.
Mhm.
And then when you go to Kerala was very conservative. Now it's changed. Lots
Yeah.
of things have changed in Kerala
Mm.
now. I think it's probably because of the internet, and generally life has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how many, several
Mm.
over 35 years I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right? Because when I was growing up, it was
Yeah.
several years
Mhm.
back. So that time, like, we used to dress up and go, and then people will look at us and they find us in these strange clothes. Because over there in Kerala, they'll only wear on these long skirts and like a top.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very conservative.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and they'll have long hair.
Okay.
Yeah. And we used to go with short hair
Okay.
and with jeans and things like that. So people will look at us, stare at us.
Like,
And then
what's
we used to
wrong
come,
with
and we used to actually dress up different. We'll go there. When we go over there, we'll try to dress up more modest. Because, people look at us strange. The other thing is education in Kerala.
Okay.
Very, very, it's 100% literacy rate in Kerala.
Okay.
Everyone studies. Everyone goes to school. That's one thing I used to find very strange. And we, at least,
And how do you think, is it the state that's helping
I think
with
it
that?
is a state. It mandates that you have to, everyone, like I'll tell you a typical thing. Like in India, you have maids, kids coming and doing work in your house.
Helpers and all.
Yeah, you have all these things
Yeah.
coming and going. And most often those children are just only doing maid work.
Yes.
They're just doing the housework, right?
household.
But in Kerala, when we used to go to Kerala, like the maids and even their children come and help out in the house. But those same children will also be going to school. No one sits at home. Every child goes to school. Like and the other thing was, like, you have these schools. You can have like your people, like your regular people who are living in your house, like going to the same school where the maids are going to.
So there's no differentiation.
There's no differentiation.
Yeah, there's no like, okay, you're gonna go
now.
to better.
Exactly. Now again, it's changed. Like there are more private schools and things like that. But then in those days, at least where my mom's side of it, I saw everyone is going to the same school. I found it so strange. I mean, in India, you never go where the maids' children are going. You're going to better school, right?
Yeah.
But in Kerala, all of them, like, so the maid's child who comes to the house to work is in the same grade as my cousin,
Oh, okay.
in the same class. And I said, she's your classmate, and I found it so strange, you know, that your classmate is also coming and doing
and
work in the
helping
house.
you in the house. Yeah.
So, and people don't discriminate or look down at them. It was a very different culture, I thought. Very, very different.
So it's probably the state mandated it, and that's what people.
Everyone, all the children used to go to school. Nobody's just only working on.
And also college also, is it like?
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop at school.
No,
you keep going.
And then after that, all these children will study, and then their lives change, right? Once they do. And I think lots of them go into all this nursing and a lot of those kind of jobs, and then they go abroad. And then when they go abroad, they make money, they come back, they don't have to do this. So you see the family progressing.
Okay.
That to a large extent now what has happened is there are no more maids and no more, because everyone has gone and come back. They're now having a decent life. They don't need to be doing this work. So now in Kerala, the whole landscape has changed. You have a lot of people coming from Bengal and Bihar and, coming to do maid work.
Because everyone
now, you're not finding the local people to do the work.
Yeah.
So people are coming from north.
So there's more opportunities for people who need
yes. And it is so funny. You go to these houses and these people, they don't know Malayalam, right? They have to learn the language. So you have to talk to them in Hindi. And in Kerala, no one just knows Hindi like that.
Oh, really?
So it's so difficult. You can see my cousins and my aunts and all that struggling to
communicate with the helpers.
But the people who come to do the maid work, like they are like so smart. They've learned the language, they've learned the culture, they've learned how to cook. Do traditional Kerala cooking and things like that.
Because there's this drive, right, for them to survive, and
so it's changed. Lots of things have changed in Kerala. So when I go back to Kerala, like I find things very different.
It's like evolution, right?
Yes. But it's a very nice.
So I've heard about that. The education
literacy.
They
pay a lot of attention to education, which I think has helped the state.
The state,
So that, and I think that's probably the reason lots of people leave Kerala. You can say to go for
because
jobs,
they get more opportunities, right?
Because within Kerala, I don't think you can find too many jobs and stuff, to support all these people. So most of them, lots of people go to Dubai and places like that. Most of them, they do this, since they're getting their education, and then after they go to college, and then of course they have an opportunity, they jump. So there's a lot of that happening also. And then the people who go for higher studies, who they come to the US to do higher studies.
Yeah, masters and all that.
Like my cousins and all that. My two cousins are cardiologists and things like that. So they come here to study. Lots of them came.
Like residency and all that.
Like Ajit also came to study his masters. So it depends. So there's the
different tiers, right? Like you study more, then you go
to the US to do your masters and study higher education. And the other people who want to quickly make money, they go to Dubai and
come back and all that.
Singapore and Dubai and things like that. Quickly you get a job, right?
Yes.
So once they get a job, they need to support their families. So you see that.
So let's talk about food.
Food
That's a favorite topic.
Food, I feel, is very different.
Yeah.
Okay, I think as usual in India, I think every state has their own uniqueness, right? With food, it's not like the same food. But there'll be like different variations.
Yeah.
To a large extent, it will be somewhere the same, but there's very different variations in the food taste.
So you said you use coconut, right?
We use a lot of coconut because again, lots of coconut trees in India. So we use a lot of, almost everything we use coconut.
So there must be a lot of beaches there too. Then,
yes,
right?
Beautiful beaches. Yes, it's a coastal area.
It's a coastal, okay.
Yeah, beaches are beautiful.
Beaches are beautiful. Yes. That's why the resorts are there.
Yes,
that's all built around the beaches. Okay.
You have to go there to the beaches. It's beautiful, white sand too. It's nice, warm waters.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
it's very nice. So food, I should tell you, we are like the specialty in Kerala. The food is the morning. So you have breakfast. They make a whole different sort of thing. Lunch is different. Evening they make something, and then again dinner. So it's like when we used to go for vacation, you're eating all these different things.
A couple of hours.
Right from morning to evening, you're only eating food. Like morning, typically what they have is like appams.
Okay.
I don't know whether they
What
know.
is appam?
Appam is like, it's rice based.
Okay.
And so it's like it looks, the texture looks a lot like dosas,
Okay.
but it's very different. The taste
So do you
is different.
soak the rice? And
We
then
soak
you...
the rice, then we put coconut after that, and then you grind it, and you put little yeast also.
Oh, to ferment it.
Yeah,
Okay.
to ferment it very little. You
Okay.
don't just go because otherwise the taste goes away.
Okay.
And then you grind all that, and then after that you make these appams.
But you also...
Texture looks like dosas, but it tastes different because you add sugar to it.
Okay, all right. So it's fermented very little.
Yes.
So it's not too soury that
Yes,
way, right?
it's so that the yeast doesn't overpower the taste.
Okay. So so do you make it on like a pan?
Yes. Actually, you have a special kind of a bowl. It's like a wok. Like
Okay.
it's like got a,
So to make it a concave
Yes.
structure.
and then you pour it inside that, and then you turn it around. So the edges are crisp, and the center is a little like a nidji.
So it's so thin, so it cooks.
It's very
with the
thin.
heat,
Yes, it
right?
cooks very fast. So the
Okay.
edges are like, so it's like, some people call it lace appams because,
Oh,
the edges are so thin, fine, it looks like lace around it.
Okay. Okay. There must be a technique
Yes.
how to make it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very simple. It is not very complicated, but you
Okay.
need to know how to make that dough.
Yeah, and then what do you
Preparation.
eat it with? Like,
We eat it with something called stew. Typically,
Okay.
like if you're a vegetarian, it'll be a vegetable stew. If you're non-vegetarian, chicken stew normally goes with it.
so if a vegetarian would be like potatoes or...
Yes, it's got potatoes, carrot, beans, peas, and
Okay.
again you add a lot of coconut milk in this.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
not too spicy. It's just like simple,
yes.
light.
You just
light.
put a little cardamom and elaichi and things like that,
Okay.
into this.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very, very light taste. It's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And chicken also you do that. You don't put big chunks of chicken. You
Just
put very
kind of-
little chicken also inside.
So that is your breakfast.
That is
typical.
breakfast. Typical, you have those, you have these appams, then you have putta. I don't know whether you know, puttu is another thing that we use.
Is it the round things? Or
It's not as, it's made like in a funnel.
Oh no, I haven't tried
Yeah,
that.
and
Okay.
that's also very tasty.
What is it like?
It's rice again. Lots of rice.
So in a
based
funnel,
stuff.
funnel shape, like
It's
a
in a
cone
funnel
shape.
shape. It's like a funnel. It's like a complete. It's like a cylindric thing.
Okay.
And then you put it into that, and it's steam. You steam it, and then you have to push it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like a rice cake then.
It's like a rice cake. Yes.
And it's also sweet. Is the same
no,
flour?
it's not sweet. You can eat it with banana and sugar if you want, or you
Okay.
can eat it with any kind of curry or something like that.
Okay. So
it
it must be
depends on
similar to like idli kind of like cake.
It's not at all like idli actually.
Okay.
The texture breaks out. It breaks out.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
It's crumbles.
It crumbles out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So maybe
What
I
is
should
it?
make that for you
Yeah,
too.
why
It's a
not?
very different taste.
What is it called?
Puttu.
Puttu. Okay. So that's also typical breakfast.
That's a very typical breakfast thing. So
All right. And then what's a beverage for breakfast? Is it coffee or?
it depends. Coffee typically. But again, that's the strange thing. My mom's side, it was always coffee, and Ajit's side, it is always tea.
Oh, okay.
So
it
I think
varies.
that it just varies from
This-
family to family. I don't think there's this.
Okay, there's no
a-
typical, just one beverage.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's
So
breakfast.
that's breakfast. So you
Okay.
have breakfast. Then lunch again is another thing very strange about strange or unique about Kerala is the rice that they eat is not like the typical basmati or the white rice.
Mhm.
It's like a brown rice,
Oh,
and it's like a boiled rice. It's a little thick, and it's got little brown lines on it. So
Oh, okay.
it
so
is.
even the breakfast on the things you made were made in this
It will
rice.
be made with this kind of rice, but again, it's not in. It won't be pure white. It's got like a
Oh, a
little
little brownish.
tinge to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a slight.
What is it called?
It's called brown rice. We call
Oh.
it kuttari.
Kuttari. Okay.
Ali means rice, and kut, I don't know what. I think it is a brand or something.
Okay. All right. And then
My Kerala thing is not so, because I told you I was born and raised in Bangalore, so
Okay.
there'll be a few things that are
Few things, yeah.
different.
So you went often. So that's how you
That's
got
how
to
it is.
Kerala.
Because we visited very often,
Mhm.
so because of that, I think it really
Okay.
helped,
Mm.
So I think it is very important even for us to, to take
And-
our kids across to India very
Yeah.
often so that
Because
we
they see
don't
it
lose
and
touch.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
So the rice is very different. So that it's like a brown rice, boiled rice. So, and I feel the food that we make, all the curries that we make, go best with this rice. Like I tried it with the white
Other
rice.
rice,
It tastes a little different. I prefer it with this rice.
Okay.
It's got a different flavor, but again, I don't know if it's an acquired taste, but I'm used to it.
Yeah, you're used to that, or it's possible, you know.
Yeah.
So, okay, so curries for lunch.
Everything will have coconut in it.
Okay.
That's one thing. There is everything. Like even if you're making beans and carrot, if you're the avial is another thing that is a very nice thing.
What is it? I've heard about that.
Avial is again. It has several different vegetables. Okay, you boil all that like drumstick and carrot and beans and
squash also. Squash also.
Yes, winter melon. Winter melon. I think it's called.
Okay.
Yes. So you add all that and you boil it.
Okay.
Tomato also. So you add all that. I mean, you boil that.
Okay.
And then you add coconut again.
Okay.
You grind coconut with jeera.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
And a little
cumin, right?
Yeah, cumin. Yes. You add coconut with cumin and green chilies and a little turmeric. You grind that and then you add that paste. It shouldn't be too watery. I mean, it shouldn't be too smooth. It should have a little. It should have a little coconutty. Yes.
Fibrous kind of.
And you add that. Yes, you add that to the mixture, the boiled veg. It's very healthy food.
Yeah.
And you add that to that, and then after it cools down, you add a little yogurt into it.
Okay.
It's a very tasty.
Okay, so that's eaten with rice.
That's eaten with rice. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So that has so many vegetables and it's a very healthy thing.
Seems like it is all like you know,
yeah,
just
that is
boiled.
A
it's not
typical
oily or
Kerala
anything.
thing. Yes.
Okay. All right, and it also made in the non-vegetarians.
Yeah. Everyone.
Avial also is made for non-vegetarians, like chicken and all that.
Yes. Okay. I mean, avial is like a separate meal. It's not like you add any non-veg to it. It's just we don't. Oh no.
Avial is just vegetarian.
Avial is just a yes. It's just a side dish. It's a completely vegetarian dish.
Okay. All right.
You don't add chicken.
Chicken or anything. Okay.
So that is it. Then you make sambar.
Okay.
And then you have all
which is lentils mostly. Yeah.
Yes. And then you have all these different vegetables. You know, and Kerala especially, most of the vegetables you're getting from their yard.
So it's all fresh.
It's all fresh. Yes. It's very nice. Tastes very different.
Do you also eat out of seafood or?
Oh yes, Kerala again is very famous for seafood.
Okay,
seafood
all right. So like fish
huge.
And
fish.
Shrimp.
Yes, mostly fish.
Mostly fish.
Yes,
okay.
Almost, and even fish they come fresh. You know, they come on the roadside like a fresh catch. They just come with the fish.
Okay.
So fish is also very, very, very tasty.
Okay.
So people from Kerala eat a lot of fish.
Okay, fish and shrimp also?
Shrimp also, yes.
Okay.
All sorts.
All
Chicken,
sorts.
actually even beef. Now it's gotten lots less.
Okay.
So that is also there.
Okay, all right. And then dinner is also typical.
Then evening also you make different types of snacks. Yes. Evening also they make different types of snacks. You know, they make like again it's rice based with coconut. It's like a pasty thing they make, and they put coconut and jaggery mixed and close that, and then you bake it. Not bake it, you steam it.
Oh,
it's very tasty again.
Okay, what is that called?
We call it korikotas, so that's the name of it.
Okay, all right.
So it's very tasty, and then they have jackfruit. So you cut jackfruit and put into it, and yeah, there are different things that they prepare a lot. Bananas are plantains are very popular there.
Okay.
Jackfruit. So you have
jackfruit
lots of fruit.
Is.
Have you eaten jackfruit?
I have eaten jackfruit, but not the Kerala.
It's very
kind.
very common. Every house almost has a jackfruit tree. Mangoes are very common.
Okay.
Most of the houses will have a jackfruit tree or mango tree, guava tree.
Jackfruit is a katal, right? Is that the same thing? Is it called katal in Hindi?
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
I
It's like a yellow, big pods.
Yeah.
And there's a big seed inside.
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Even that I think is an acquired taste. People from Kerala will all love it.
Okay.
But I've heard that I had a North Indian friend who did not like the smell of it.
Yeah. So I think we make it, but we make it a little differently, like in like stir fried first and then make a curry.
Oh yeah, with raw jackfruit even we make dishes with it. It's
Yeah.
very tasty.
Yeah. It's hard to cut it.
Yeah.
Right?
Then another thing, I don't know whether over here whether you've heard of tapioca. Have you heard of tapioca?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Tapioca is another thing that we eat. So that you can even prepare like a meal with it. You know?
Okay.
Yes. Or sometimes it's like an evening snack. So they just boil it and then you eat that with chili and oil and
Peanuts and all.
yeah, it's like a thing, a mix, like a chutney kind of a thing that you dip it in. It's very tasty. In the evening, that's something that they serve in the evenings as well.
Okay.
And then dinner. Dinner, of course, will be a little lighter.
So it's mostly rice based
Rice
for
based,
breakfast and lunch and dinner.
Everything. Yes. Oh
Everything.
my God, there's just too much rice.
So the bread is not eaten that much then, right? Mostly
Like
it's
rotis?
rotis or bread or anything.
Rotis it's like a new introduction.
Oh,
Like when we were growing up, we used to never see rotis at all in Kerala.
Okay.
We used to eat a lot in Bangalore, right?
Okay.
So when we go to Kerala, there wasn't much rotis.
So wheat is
not as common.
not as-
Rice was everything.
Okay.
Now I think people have gotten more conscious of their health and diabetes and stuff like that. I think they've started switching to these other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it was always everything. Morning to night you're eating rice and
It's
coconut.
rice. Yeah.
Anything of those things.
And it's probably they grew there, so they had
Yes.
access to it and everything.
Rice over there. And coconut, every house, if you have a little land, there'll be a
Grow
coconut tree.
because of the weather and everything. And you said the rice is not completely white; it's a
It's
little
not,
brownish.
yes, it's a little brownish.
Yeah.
So,
So okay, that's
but they,
interesting.
yes, it's a very different kind of a texture, the rice.
And what's a typical dessert? Like
Dessert again, if you really want to know the traditional type, it will be like with jackfruit they prepare certain things,
okay,
All
right.
Then with plantain there is something that they make which
Okay.
is very tasty.
Like banana. kind of?
Banana, yeah, they cut it into thin slices and then they'll dip it into like all-purpose flour, you can call it.
Okay, okay.
With
Make
a
it
little
crispy
sugar on
and
it,
all
and then
that.
they fry it and
Okay.
those
Okay.
kind of things.
Okay.
But otherwise you make regular puddings and things like that.
Did you make all that? What's it called? During Christmas, they make that cake.
Oh yeah, the plum cake.
The
and
plum
things
cake
Like that.
and all
Yeah.
that.
But I don't know how to make the plum cake.
With all the dry, like all the
All
nuts,
the raisins
raisins
and
and
things like
nuts
that,
and
yes.
all that. Okay. But that's not typical Kerala,
No.
right? So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they make these things, but it's not.
yeah, it's more like sometimes.
If you're looking at traditional stuff, it is all these kind of things that they
Okay.
make.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot of mango-based things they make.
Mhm.
The mango, jackfruit, all that is very common over there.
What about does Kerala have its own music? Like
Kerala has its own music, yes. Kerala has its own dance form too,
okay.
which is called Kathakali.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, where they wear on that, they paint their faces and wear on that big headgear and
Okay.
yeah,
Kathakali.
Kathakali.
Okay. Okay.
So that is like a very popular
Mhm.
dance form in India.
And the music is
In
a
Kerala.
little different
It's
from
very different also.
from South in
Yeah,
general. Okay.
so that is a little different. And movies are very popular in Kerala.
And they make
The movie industry is very popular in India.
okay.
They
Okay.
make their own movies and lots of good movies too.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
So there is a lot of Kerala music also,
Yes.
and you said traditional dancing is there.
Yes,
a lot
they
of
have their
people
own-
learn it. Or
Yes,
probably
yes. People
Kathakali.
learn that dance form too.
Mhm.
So yeah, they have their own thing. So I told you, for me, I know about Kerala again. If you get too much into details, I'll get stuck.
No, don't take questions.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it's a beautiful place. It's a
Mhm.
must see. I think you have to visit Kerala sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very beautiful place. It's
The
so
green.
fresh, lush, green.
Mm.
And another thing I used to notice when going from Bangalore to Kerala was there used to not be too many beggars
Oh.
and very clean. The place is generally very clean.
Okay.
Yeah. So
People
which I-
had that attitude there to keep it
Keep
clean.
it clean, I think,
Yeah.
yes. And I think even because it's always raining, there's monsoons, so the trees are all bright
Fresh,
green and
yeah.
fresh and yeah. So and probably because it rains and it washes out all the dirt, so the roads are
Probably.
always clean.
That's true also.
Yeah, it's not dry and dusty,
Mm.
So because of that, it's got that moisture in the air. So
Mm.
and the rains especially, it was like huge thunder and lightning, and we used to never hear that in Bangalore. So when we go to Kerala, we're like so fascinated by the
The
loud
sound.
thunder and lightning.
Mm.
Like over here, we don't hear thunder and lightning.
Yeah,
right?
no, no.
It was like that.
It was
I
like-
always felt Bangalore was a lot like California when I
Yeah.
went over here for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I ever heard thunder.
No, right over here, yes. So it was the same. So when you hear it for the first time, it's like so exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
So Kerala, yeah, has huge rains. And my uncle and like, you have the house. The house is situated like this, and then you have like a huge area around the house with gravel.
Okay.
Tiny smooth gravel,
Mhm.
scattered around the house.
Okay.
And it's a level up. And then after it, you have steps which go down. Most houses have that
Okay, do you
gravel.
have pictures
kind
of
a
that? Do you have pictures? Maybe we can.
I don't. Maybe when I go in November, I should go and take
Oh, yeah, take
pictures
some
of these
pictures,
things.
yeah. That'll be nice to see how a
Yeah.
typical home looks like.
Yeah,
You know.
but they modernized it. The traditional home, people want to the newer things, right?
Newer
They want
things,
the newer
yeah.
bathrooms and the newer
Yeah.
houses. And
Mm.
so the house has changed a bit. Like the traditional house is
Mm.
gone. I feel a little bad about it, but they try to keep the old stuff still inside.
The layout and stuff like.
Because the newer generation kids want all the modern stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and they have lots of doors. Mostly they have everywhere. It'll be like going out, but but again, it's like on an estate. So
Yeah,
yes,
there's a lot of land, right?
there's a lot
You
of
can
land.
experiment on
yes.
the building and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So it was very
So
nice.
that is so nice. Yeah. Thank you for sharing so much, Sunita. And you probably would love to taste it sometime.
Oh yes, I have to invite you over to have some
So-
appams and avial. And
Yeah, I'll probably like a day, like a full day.
Yes.
This is breakfast. This is the snack.
Oh my God. Yes. With the cooking part.
Cooking. That would be nice.
Fish curry, you should eat.
Okay.
Ajit prepares very good fish curry.
Okay.
Do you eat?
Oh, I love fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fish is my favorite. Yeah.
No, so yes.
So the spices are different. Like, okay, you said.
And we again
Coconut.
have a lot of coconut is the main. It's every house and
Yeah.
every meal has coconut, but other spices too, like cardamom and elaichi and all that. It grows in the estates. Most often like pepper and Kerala has a lot of spices.
And you find everything here, whatever you need to prepare everything.
To a large extent, yes.
Okay.
You go to at least when we used to go. Now most of the stores carry it. Earlier there was like a Kerala store. We used to go and buy the things.
Okay.
From
All
there.
right.
But now I think most of these stores carry it.
Everything.
Like when I first came over here, I was like, where did you get this? Where we didn't have anything,
Yeah.
Then I remember they opened a Kerala store. Things which were specific to
Specifically.
Kerala.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then we used to go shop from there.
Mm.
Now I think most of the stores
Most of the
have
stuff,
it, yeah.
everything.
Things have changed even
Yeah.
over here, right?
Yes. Yeah. More. It's like it's easy to find everything.
Yes.
Right.
Otherwise, we used to go to Kerala and we used to go to India and bring back.
Bring back some
Now you don't.
items that don't find them here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sunita. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
for your time. It's always nice to see.
Yes. It's nice
All
talking
right.
with you.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
If you wanna talk about anything at all, then you know who to call. Just tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Just tell Sanjana.